All right, so I just want to show another thing that I implemented. I inject the global best from the previous run into the next run. So right now, showing the initialization options, I have it not set. We got inject global best here, and it's not enabled. So that's not enabled. We're gonna go ahead and run it several times. You see the first solution, it's got one. Here's one solution. Now we're gonna do it again, and it's a different solution. So that happens when we're not injecting the global best. So let's say we get a global best and then we start to inject it. So we're going to go ahead and run PSO normal and we're injecting the global best. So it ran 303 milliseconds. Let's go ahead and do it again. And again, it's running slower, quicker, and it's not changing the solution because it's not finding anything better. So let's go ahead and run it slow. You see run slow, it doesn't change because every time it still has that global best. So it's locked in on that global best, and it's not going to try to find anything. It won't find anything unless it does randomly stumble upon a position that is a global best, and I'm going to show that now by hitting run with iterations, and we're going to do this for 50 times. So let's just do this so you see it running here, and it's going to run for 50 times. Eventually it may actually find a solution that's better than this, but it just shows that just running it with one shot is not necessarily picking up our global best. So let's just see if this even does it. So I went through all 50 of them, and this still was the global best solution. So it's not too complex of a solution that it found, uh, that required to find on this. So this is what it found every single time. So that keeps us at low variance. Obviously this variance is pretty much near zero, um, but if we were to run this several times and it were to actually able to find another one, so let's go ahead and disable this again, and then we're going to run it. It's going to come up with a new solution. So there's a new solution. Let's go back to this initialization object options and inject global best. So now let's run it again. We'll run PSO, and it looks like it found another solution. Let's try it again, and now it's stuck at that last solution that it found. So let's run with iterations again 50 times to see what happens. It could find another solution in the mix of this, but right now it could be pretty dead set on this particular solution. So we don't see any change still as it's run up. Now we're starting to see some slope here, so it's actually able to find better positions, and it just found a better one. So we ran it 50 times and it was actually able to update the global best again. So yeah, that just shows that this does has the potential to get trapped into a local min or a local max depending on the population size, neighbors, termination slope. Also that matters for the constants, which are not changing. We're not passing DT or any new constants. We're keeping our constants pretty steady. So that's just showing the right now what goes on when we're injecting our global best. So let's just randomize the signals, and we randomize the signals. We're still injecting global best, and let's run it again. And now I found a new solution after you randomized it. So it injected the global best, but it still didn't find it as the global best. We run slow and it's still doing the same. So now it's kind of stuck on that solution, and that's the solution that it found for after randomization. So it looks like we're able to converge fairly quickly to a solution and then run it again and converge to another solution, and then run it several more times, and then we're finally running at very small milliseconds. So it looks like as long as it can find a really good solution and we inject that each time, then it allows us to have some speed up across our solutions. So one thing we could test this is when these are moving, and to see what happens with the convergence of these solutions, whether or not variance dies down or not, just by having this injection in there. So I just wanted to show that.